15. Capital punishment. Due to an increasing incidence of lawlessness in the world, where crime is rampant and seems to gain the upper hand, legislators everywhere begin to consider the death penalty as just response in cases where man's rights, life, and freedom are violated. The problem, however, despite its gravity, cannot be solved with similar means of violence, even if made legal by the state. Lactantius, also called the Christian Cicero, back in the 3rd century, declared that the taking away of a man's life is always a dishonor to God. Life is a very precious thing to be cut short by anybody. No one, be it an individual or representative of the state, is endowed with the right to kill a human being, even when he commits the most hideous or vile of crimes. By so doing, the state becomes guilty of the same crime committed by the criminal. Every criminal has a form of insanity that needs specialized therapy, so he can reorganize his inner world and become a useful citizen, both to himself and to his community. The government's role is to do away with crime and the causes leading to it, not the criminal. A criminal's death does not restore life to his victim. Instead of the death approach, we must explore means to promote life. To educate and re-educate is the real, pressing need, not to punish. Let us think. There is not one single verse in the gospel that supports capital punishment. Whenever a person is caught in the snares of crime, destroying people's lives or using violence to attain his ends, he should be denied social freedom. In his confinement, he should undergo treatment and self-correction and have the opportunity to make restitution for the faults committed, all of this by methods compatible with the advancement of modern civilization. Capital punishment does not decrease the incidence of crime. On the contrary, crime becomes even more violent and barbaric. The aggressor, knowing the fate that awaits him, goes all out into a spree of destructive passion. The state's duty is to always leave a door open for the restoration of the heartless assassin or the human scourge who became a foolish vandal. If the state takes away the life of a citizen, it cannot expect society to respect it. Death does not destroy life. When the criminal leaves his physical body, the hatred experienced in his last minutes makes him furious. He goes and psychically attaches himself to those who punished him by starting a mental exchange of rebellious feelings. This will result in things becoming more somber and repugnant in the human scene. Capital punishment is a barbarous process and primitive in nature. By setting the execution date, all possibility of rehabilitation is destroyed. Such a law must disappear from the earth. A criminal cannot escape the condemnation of his conscience, nor the reparation that the supreme laws of life demand. It is only just, therefore, to give the guilty person a chance to recompose himself and make all possible amends for the harm caused. To this end, penology has devised good programs to rehabilitate transgressors of law and order, namely, our tormented brothers of the evolutionary path who fail to fulfill their duties and responsibilities. Obviously, the question relates to the pre-existence of the soul and the cleansing process. There is an urgent need to implant on earth the healthy, moral conditions taught in the gospel. This will enable us to help those sickly spirits to make the necessary amendments, facing contenders and enemies from past lives and turning them into brothers and friends. There is no doubt that social conditions that foment crime and breed criminals require greater attention from man. Those who live in social ghettos and poverty should be helped and shown the ways of dignity. Aristotle, in his Politics, taught the precept that for a man to be successful, he needs to have some spiritual, physical, and external assets. Without such possessions, he continued, contamination by crime could lead him to a state of imbalance. The present technological era, more concerned with concrete values and the production of superfluous and useless things, has overlooked man's real needs, his spiritual inclinations, his ethical accomplishments, his dreams, and his noble ideals. By desiring material acquisitions and by indulging in comfort and momentary pleasures, man annuls happiness in its deeper sense, a happiness that does not depend on fleeting acquisitions, but on the understanding of the lasting achievements of his being. Those who are truly Christians must tirelessly persist in goodness, honesty, and patience. Perseverance in love, which may perhaps have delayed results, can change the external aspect of things and turn the human heart towards noble achievements. But to kill, never. A crime cannot be solved by another, no matter what name or legal interpretation people may give it. It will never acquire moral sanction. Therefore, if faced by aggression, counter it with tolerance. If challenged by anger, respond with kindness. If met with hatred, give love. If persecuted by continuous hostility, offer unconditional forgiveness. If accused without a reason, demonstrate that gentle patience that portrays your innocence. Only good has real and permanent existence. It always wins the final victory, even when evil seems to have the upper hand. Do not add to the number of the violent who adopt the idea of elimination. When outraged, they may commit the same crimes for which they now demand the death penalty. You are unaware of your own powers. You do not know how you would behave in the position of those who are now passing judgment. Yes, spread the seeds of love, thereby creating a state of joy and happiness for all. Offer your valuable contribution, even a small one, in order to improve the present condition of the world. Crime will vanish and become only a sad shadow of the past, as Jesus once predicted. On Sunday's new chapter of the Word, contribute by making donations with the publishing of works in the English language. Subscribe to our networks at Casa de Reading KO YouTube and Facebook.